All right, we are live. And yeah, we're on Tuesday instead of Sunday this week. Uh, my my regular panelists were all in Nebraska this weekend for Thunder on the Prairie, and so I decided to postpone the show to not till tonight so that they could all be here. And none of them are here yet. The dog isn't behaving. Should have done this before I went live. Anyway, I was saying I decided to wait until tonight to do it because of that. And that way I wouldn't be here talking to y'all by myself, but it's okay because apparently nobody's watching yet anyway. So I don't know because we're on a different night or what. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I get more people watching in replay anyway. There we go. As soon as she decides to quit playing around with the dog. Like I said, we got one person on YouTube watching now. So whoever's out there, hello. It always says there's one person on Rumble. So if you're the person out there watching on Rumble, hello to you too. I don't know what's going on X because X doesn't integrate properly. I don't even know why they have a counter for X. But let's see, is there anybody over on X as of right now? It says we got 0 views so far over on X. So, yes, nobody on X has got. Ow, my neck just popped. All right, says we got 2 people watching on YouTube's. So, I don't know how many people have seen what's been going on in Virginia with their election, but had the proverbial October surprise breaking over this past weekend. And apparently, the Democratic candidate for Attorney General in the state of Virginia, Jay Jones, a couple years ago, was tweeting another Republican, not another Republican, Democrat tweeting a Republican. Okay. And he said some stuff about the then Virginia Speaker of the House and his family that weren't very nice, to put it mildly. Basically saying that he wanted to put 2 bullets in the guy's head and make him watch as his children died in his wife's arms. Let that one sink in for a minute. This was a then member of the Virginia House of Delegates tweeting this to an opposition party member of the Virginia House of Delegates about the Speaker of the House of Delegates in Virginia. Crazy, right? Inappropriate at minimum. Hey, there's a counter on X now. Apparently, they must have. At least it says there's one person over on X. So, yeah, if you're the person watching on X, hello. But yeah, maybe they finally got it where it integrates into X better. I don't know. The main counter still isn't showing anybody on X, but the little one here on screen is. Interesting. Yes. It says we got 3 on YouTube now, so people are starting to roll in. Don't have anybody out there saying anything yet, and I still don't have any panel. But I do have an article pulled up about this situation. Let me screen share that for you folks out there in case you want to read along. Back over here because I got the. There we go. This comes from the Virginia Mercury. And the title is Beyond Disqualifying. Jay Jones Controversy Jolts Virginia's Pivotal 2025 Elections. Yes, for some reason, Virginia decides that they want to do their elections in an off year instead of during the midterms or nationwide general election. I'm guessing they feel it makes it easier to keep track of what's going on and whatnot. So, anyway, it continues. The Democratic Attorney General nominee's 2022 text about 2 bullets to the head sparked bipartisan condemnation, GOP attack ads, and a Trump intervention on behalf of Jason Miyares, who is the incumbent Republican Attorney General in the state of Virginia. There's a picture of Jay Jones. What began as a quiet October Friday in Virginia politics erupted into a full-blown national scandal when screenshots of private 3-year-old text messages showing Democratic Attorney General nominee Jay Jones fantasizing about shooting then House Speaker Todd Gilbert and his children were made public. The National Review story revealed an August 2022 exchange between Jones, a former Norfolk delegate and one-time Assistant Attorney General, and Delegate Kerry Coyner, Republican Chesterfield. In the text, Jones described a scenario in which Gilbert gets 2 bullets to the head, followed by a wish that the Republican lawmaker's children die in their mother's arms. The messages sent shortly after Gilbert offered public condolences over the death of retired Democratic Delegate Joe Johnson of Washington County stunned political circles across Virginia and beyond. Coyner confirmed the authenticity of the exchange in a statement Friday evening, calling the remarks disgusting and unbecoming of any public official. On August 8, 2022, I had a text conversation with Jay Jones, Coyner said. What he said was not just disturbing, but disqualifying for anyone who wants to seek public office. Jay Jones wished violence on the children of a colleague and joked about shooting Todd Gilbert. In a statement Friday evening, Jones admitted sending the message and said he takes full responsibility for his actions. He apologized directly to Todd Gilbert and his family and vowed to work to regain Virginians' trust. Republicans seized on the scandal. The revelation instantly reshaped the statewide race that had already been fiercely contested. After initially declining to comment, Attorney General Jason Miyares, the Republican incumbent, condemned his opponent during an impromptu news conference in Richmond Saturday afternoon. The Attorney General is the chief law enforcement officer of Virginia, Myers said. I must be done with character and integrity. Jay Jones has proven he is reckless, biased, and willing to trade away his integrity. This conduct is disqualifying. Mayorkas added that he had sat with crying victims of violent crimes as a prosecutor and called Jones's comments the kind of darkness that disqualifies anyone from holding public office. Governor Glenn Youngkin echoed that sentiment in a post on X, calling the messages violent, disgusting, rhetoric or rhetoric, same thing, different pronunciation, targeted at an elected official and his children. Jay Jones said that Gilbert gets 2 bullets to the head and then hoped his children would die, Youngkin wrote. There is no gosh, I'm sorry here. Jones doesn't have the morality or character to drop out of this race. Lieutenant Governor Winsome Earl Sears, now the Republican nominee for governor, went farther, attempting to tie the controversy to her Democratic opponent, former Congresswoman Abigail Spanberger. Jay Jones is the poster child for the Democratic establishment, and he fantasizes about murdered little children laying lifeless in their mother's arms. Early Sears, I mispronounced it earlier. It's Early Sears said in a statement. My opponent Abigail Spanberger urges her supporters to fill their hearts with violent hate. Let your rage fuel you, she says. Words have meaning. Early Sears' campaign released a new television ad Sunday morning, repeating those claims, even though Spanberger's 2024 rage quote came in the context of urging voter turnouts, not violence. Words have meaning, though, and as we've seen in other instances, it could have results that a candidate may later say they didn't intend. From Richmond to Washington, the fallout quickly spilled beyond Virginia's borders. On Saturday afternoon, Vice President J.D. Vance weighed in, using the controversy to accuse Democrats of hypocrisy. The Democratic candidate for AG in Virginia has been fantasizing about murdering his political opponents, Vance wrote on X, formerly Twitter. I'm sure the people hyperventilating about sombrero memes will join me in calling for this very deranged person to drop out of the race. President Donald Trump entered the fray Sunday morning, posting on Truth Social that the radical left lunatic Jay Jones, who was running against the great Attorney General of Virginia, Jason Mayorkas, had made sick and demented jokes, if they were jokes at all, about the murdering of a Republican legislator, his wife, and their children. Trump accused Jones of spreading not funny and deranged remarks while blasting Spanberger as weak and ineffective for not condemning Jones more forcefully. Even Democrats are saying it is a resignation from campaign territory, Trump wrote, calling on Jones to drop out of the race immediately. He closed the post by giving his complete and total endorsement of Mayorkas, his first in Virginia's statewide elections this year, saying Jason will never let you down. Other Republicans quickly followed suit, with U.S. House Speaker Mike Johnson writing that there is no conceivable justification for wishing violence against a political opponent and their children, and urging Jones to immediately withdraw his candidacy. And White House Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller said the episode showed how dangerously radicalized the Democrat Party has become. Republican Attorneys General Association Chair Chris Kobach called the text abhorrent and urged Jones to withdraw. The group also launched a website displaying the messages in full. U.S. Rep. Morgan Griffith, Republican Salem, said he was very disturbed by the idea that Jones would fantasize about Mrs. Gilbert having to watch her children die in her arms. Virginia House Minority Leader Terry Kilgore, Republican Scott, praised Coiner for showing real courage by standing up to Jay Jones' inappropriate and offensive comments. By the way, they don't show the text here, but in the text, Coiner repeatedly asks Jones to stop texting her. So there's that too. And John Reed, Republican nominee for lieutenant governor, who faced his own scandal earlier this year after reports that explicit Tumblr post tied to an account with his name had surfaced, also joined the chorus, The revelation at the time prompted Youngkin to personally urge Reid to drop out of the race, a request he ultimately rejected. Democrats have a violence problem. Jay Jones just got caught saying it a little too clearly, Reid wrote on X, killing your opponent and his kids, disqualifying. Democrats condemn but don't call for withdrawal. Democrat leaders across Virginia responded with near universal disgust but stopped short of demanding Jones end his campaign. U.S. Senator Mark Warner, Democrat Virginia, called the comments appalling and inconsistent with the person I've known. Spanberger, the Democratic nominee for governor, said she was disgusted by Jones' remarks and had spoken directly with him Friday afternoon. I made clear to Jay that he must fully take responsibility for his words, Spanberger said in a statement. As a candidate and as the next governor of our Commonwealth, I will always condemn violent language in our politics. State Senator Ghazala Hashmi, the Democratic nominee for lieutenant governor, said Jones must take accountability for the pain that his words have caused. Virginia Senate Majority Leader Scott Sorovell, Democrat Fairfax, was among the most forceful in his response, calling his text a serious lapse in judgment that cannot be defended. While we don't share the same political views, I consider Todd Gilbert a friend and an honorable person, Sorovell said. The comments directed at him and his family were completely out of bounds. Sorovell added that the context of the exchange apparently sparked by condolences after Johnson's passing. Yeah, keep that in mind, folks. This is his response to somebody giving condolences to somebody dying. Made the remarks even more inappropriate. After publicly condemning Jones' text, Virginia House Speaker Don Scott, Democrat Portsmouth, spent Sunday campaigning in Coiners District, speaking to parishioners at Mount Calvary Baptist Church in Hopewell. Scott urged voters to keep their attention on the broader stakes of the election. We have to be mature in our thinking and how we vote. Scott said, we can't get distracted because they want us to get distracted by the text message here or something else. Stay focused. And I will note that as far as I could find before going live tonight, none of these Democrats have pulled their endorsement of Jones, nor have any of them said that he needs to step down. As of this morning, the Fraternal Order of Police in Virginia has released a statement stating that Jones has to drop out. That they will not support somebody who calls for political violence against their opponent or a member of the opposing party. So I'm going to stop there. The article continues, but it's a fairly long article. I don't know if I want to read all of it. Yeah, we're almost done. Yeah, might as well go ahead and read. Jones calls text a grave mistake. Jones issued what he called his deepest apology to Speaker Gilbert and his family, adding that reading back those words made me sick to my stomach. I am embarrassed, ashamed, and sorry, but you're not going to drop out. He said he had reached out to apologize directly to Gilbert, his wife Jennifer, and their children, and admitted that while he cannot take back what I said, he could only take full accountability and offer my sincere apology. God, I can't read tonight. He added that Virginians deserve honest leaders who admit when they are wrong and own up to their mistakes, calling the text a grave mistake and pledging to work every day to prove to the people of Virginia that I will not fight for them that he will fight for them rather as Attorney General. I was probably right with my Freudian slip there. Will not fight for them, but you know. Appearing live on Richmond's WRIC Friday night, Jones apologized once again. I am so deeply sorry for what I said, he said during the interview. I wish that it hadn't happened, and I would take it back if I could. Jones' campaign did not respond to additional requests for comment. Some Democratic allies, particularly within Jones' home base of Hampton Roads, stood by him even as they condemned the text. State Senators Louise Lucas of Portsmouth and Mamie Locke of Hampton released a joint statement describing the comments as deeply disturbing, but warned against allowing the controversy to overshadow the stakes of the November election. There is no place for political violence or violent rhetoric in our public discourse, they wrote. Jay must take accountability for his actions, but we will not allow this moment to distract from the urgent fight we are in for Virginia's future. The senators credited Jones for his service as a legislator and assistant attorney general, calling him a father raising two young boys who has demonstrated the character and compassion the office of attorney general deserves. So the Office of Attorney General in Virginia deserves to have a candidate who wants to shoot a member of the opposing party in the head twice while making him and his wife watch their children die in her arms. That's what Virginia deserves in their attorney general. Interesting. A national October surprise. The scandal arrives just 1 month before Virginians elect a new governor, lieutenant governor, and attorney general, as well as all 100 seats in the House of Delegates. A cycle already under the microscope as a bellwether for 2026 and the next presidential election. For Republicans, the Jones texts have become a rallying cry in their broader message about Democratic extremism. For Democrats, they pose a test of unity and discipline at the worst possible moment. As of Sunday afternoon, Gilbert himself had not commented publicly. A longtime Shenandoah Valley Republican and former House Speaker, Gilbert stepped down from his role as a lawmaker in June to accept his nomination as U.S. Attorney for Western District, Virginia, a position he resigned after just 1 month. So, there you have it. There's what's going on there. Mr. Gizzard Gary has joined us while I was reading. How are you tonight, sir?
I'm all right. How are you?
My mouth's a little dry right now from reading, but other than that.
I've been here for about 10 minutes. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What? Speak up.
Hey, you were on a roll, man.
So, you heard just about the whole article then?
Yeah, pretty much.
So, what are your thoughts?
About the same as yours. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, especially in light.
I just can't believe stuff like that.
Yeah, it's absolute insanity.
Mm-hmm. And how anybody could think it's not is beyond me.
Mm-hmm. Now, the fact that none of the Democrats have called for him to step down yet is ridiculous.
But not surprising.
No, not in light of everything else that's been going on lately.
Correct.
I mean, in Christ, what's her face? Maxine Waters has said worse. Or said worse because she repeatedly says it over and over again. I mean, she hasn't flat out called for somebody to get shot in the head yet.
And this is a party of peace and kindness we're talking about here.
Tolerance. Don't forget tolerance.
Yeah.
We're all
what
supposed to be
happened?
Tolerant. Yeah, what happened indeed?
It's because it's rhetoric.
Mm-hmm.
It's exactly to cover up what their agenda is. And I'm not saying every one of them are that way, but I'm saying as a rule, that's the kind of people we're dealing with here. And that's a reflection of society as it is now. And it's sad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, look what's going on out in Portland. Chicago.
Try not to think about Portland or Chicago.
Well, you got the governor of Oregon out there marching in Portland with the Antifa people.
Of course.
At the same time, ridiculing and condemning President Trump for wanting to send in the National Guard to help keep things secure. She thinks she's the good guy.
Well, they're basically holding these cities hostage. Kind of the way I look at it. And the majority of the people in that area don't want this violence and stuff going on either, but the inner cities are basically, like I say, being held hostage by the government, local government, and the powers to be and their powerhouse. And Unfortunately, it's going to take somebody stepping in. It's sad it has to come to that.
Mhm.
And it does look like you've got government opposing government here, and in a way you do, but you really can't blame Washington for wanting to step in and bring safety and peace to these cities. I mean, you can't, my opinion.
Yeah, basically, you got these cities telling the federal law enforcement agencies who are tasked with dealing with illegal immigration, illegal aliens, that you're not allowed to do your job in our city.
Here's the thing. Think about this, if you will. The people making these decisions in these cities don't live in the inner city. These aren't the inhabitants of the city making these decisions.
Mm-hmm.
These are politicians, local politicians who probably live way out in the suburbs somewhere in a safe place that are making these decisions. And the people living in the inner cities having to deal with all this, which a lot of times is being carried out by people who are shipped in from outside the city. I'm sorry, it's true. Uh, it's not the cities themselves, the people in these cities, they don't want this stuff either. It's being forced upon them by a select few who are in power.
Mm-hmm. To that point, guess where they found the people who founded and fund the Antifa nonsense in Portland?
Hmm.
Take a wild guess where they found them. I bet you'll never guess in a million years. Just try and guess what country they found them in.
Canada?
Nope. Sweden.
Sweden. Oh,
They
oh,
fled to
Greta.
Sweden. Yeah.
Okay, that does kind of make sense now.
Yeah, that was that story broke yesterday that they found the two of them in Sweden.
Hmm. That's curious.
Mm-hmm. Apparently, they have a federal warrant out for their arrest, and they fled to Sweden.
Yeah, how about that?
Guess I can get this off the screen now. Oh, it says we got. You notice the little counter is working for X now.
Oh, cool.
It says we have two people watching over on X. The main counter doesn't, but the little one on the screen does. I wonder if I
Well,
refresh the
YouTube went
page.
down to 1. That's not good.
Yeah, YouTube keeps changing, but guess we could say hi to the folks that are out there on YouTube because nobody said anything on
Well,
X
I'm
or
watching on YouTube, so I may be it.
that maybe.
Because I still have my window open.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if we would get a lot of views on YouTube tonight. I get a lot of viewers in replay anyway, but got Hillbilly going to be doing his members only chat here in what, half hour, and I don't know if
No, he
Ghost.
should be starting up right about,
Oh
well,
yeah, he does his.
scheduled to start now. He usually maybe
Okay.
5 or 10 minutes late getting started,
Yeah,
but yeah.
and I don't know. Does Ghost Tactical still do his Tuesday show? I haven't got notifications about his
I
show.
don't get any notifications, so I don't know. I did not see him live a second ago. Let me see. Let me go to YouTube and subscriptions and see if it shows. You're
I
the
know he.
only thing I see live right now.
Okay, I was going to say 'cause I know he hadn't been because they did a We're Back episode on what was it, a Thursday night a couple weeks ago.
Looks like E Honda will be going live in about half an hour with the Gay Frog Chat.
Yeah.
I'm not promoting it. I just happen to see it on my feed. So
Yeah. Anyway,
let me look at Ghost. I wonder.
let me see. While you're doing that, I'm going to see if I can find.
Ghost Tactical. Let's see. There's his channel. And Whoa, get back here live. The last time he did a live stream was 2 weeks ago. I don't see anything new scheduled. And that was his first one in 4 months.
Wow.
So I don't know if the thing he did 2 weeks ago was just, okay, I'm back. I'll see you again in another 4 months. Or he may be just as time allows with him and his new career and stuff like that. And I don't know, private life and everything else. There's no telling.
Getting back to our main story, Glenn Beck had Jason Mayorkas on his show earlier today, and he posted this quote from the Virginia Attorney General on his X account. It said, "I served in the House of Delegates with Jay and with Todd. He knows Jennifer. He knows Todd's children. At the time these text messages were sent, they were 2 and 5 years old. This was not a hypothetical." That's a direct quote from the incumbent Virginia Attorney General. So, and he also put on his own X account that he took an oath to protect all Virginians, Republican, Democrat, or Independent. Jay Jones belongs nowhere near the Attorney General's office.
Well, that's right.
Mm-hmm. Can't argue with him.
No. It makes you wonder how people like that got elected. Well, and again, heavy sigh here.
I guarantee most of his votes probably came from the Hampton Roads, Richmond, Norfolk, Virginia Beach, and Northern Virginia around D.C. areas. Because that's where the majority of Democrats within Virginia, when you look at the voting map where the blue areas are located. In other words, the major city areas. You get out into more rural Virginia, and it's the people are not like this.
Makes you wonder with the recent presidential election and the way politics are swinging lately. It makes you wonder what are happening to the moderates in this country. And they're looking one direction and they're looking the other. And if they've got their eyes open the least little bit, they've got to see an awful lot of hypocrisy, an awful lot of hatred coming from that side. And I think, in fact, I know because I've seen it on social media, a lot of people are just moving away, moving to the other side of center, if you know what I mean, because I think they're starting to recognize the left for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a fact. Not that there aren't people on the right that are on the loony side also, but typically not as hateful rhetoric. And now they're, and they go after each other about as bad as they do go after the right. I mean, they're basically eating themselves.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's really scary.
Well, I got something to bring up about that a little bit later on once we get done here. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that is absolutely true. But yeah, I found this too. This is Tim Kaine, sitting senator in Virginia, saying that he still endorses Jones. So let's take a listen.
Senator, do you still support Jay Jones? You do. What do you think he should drop out of this race after those comments? I just answered your question. You have concerns about what you saw? The comments are completely indefensible.
I've known Jay Jones for 25 years. Those comments are very much out of character for him. So if I put the comments, which are clearly beyond the pale, against knowing this guy for 25 years, I'm still a supporter of Jay Jones. What do you think about
I love the reporter's reaction. Reporter's like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you said
Yeah,
that."
how can you respond? How can you respond to logic like that?
That
Oh,
was funny.
he's never done that before. Yeah. That'd be about like Jeffrey Dahmer's mother saying, "Well, he never killed anybody before." Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the reporter's reaction was, "Gosh darn it! Why did he? What did he just?" Total like letdown
Uh-huh.
expression for those of you who are listening and not actually watching. It was, yeah, it was crazy reaction.
Yeah, the facial reaction was hilarious.
Yeah, it's like he was expecting a different answer.
And for you, because I always do this because I know somebody out there cares. In fact, if DM Foss is listening to this, he's going to care. It is the top of the ninth inning in Detroit right now. The Mariners have a 6-1 lead over the Detroit Tigers in Game 3 of the ALDS Best of 5.
All right, that was your sports update.
That's
And
it. The game was delayed almost 3 hours because of rain. That's why it's still being played now.
I found the letter from the Fraternal Order of Police of Virginia to Jay Jones. This was sent to his office. You can see the address for his office right there on the screen if you're looking. This comes from Roy Clemens, the president of the Virginia Fraternal Order of Police. It says, the Virginia Fraternal Order of Police is aware of the recent text message scandal involving you, the Democrat candidate for Attorney General. While this incident may have occurred in 2022, this conduct has no place in our society or democracy, especially from an elected official who is running to be the top prosecutor in Virginia. The men and women of the Virginia Fraternal Order unequivocally condemn these violent text messages sent by you about a political opponent and his family. We support everyone's right to respectful and peaceful discussions with a political figure. However, the calling for any type of violence is unacceptable. We have seen what this type of rhetoric has caused in other parts of the country. The men and women of law enforcement work tirelessly to combat the violence you wished on a fellow Virginian and his family. Therefore, the members of the Virginia Fraternal Order of Police believe that you, Jay Jones, are unfit for the office of Attorney General of Virginia. It is time you hold yourself accountable for these actions and withdraw from the Attorney General race immediately. Again, that is from the Fraternal Order of Police of Virginia to Jay Jones, their Democrat candidate for Attorney General in the state of Virginia.
Sports update: 2-run home run from Cal Raleigh in the top of the ninth. It is now 8-1 Seattle.
The Fence Dad and Moo are out in the chat. Mystic Guns was out there earlier, as was Krusty Underwear and Vanessa Kitty on the YouTube side.
And just got a notification that Hillbilly just went live. So
don't tell them. Still showing 2 on X, so.
Yeah, 2 Live Moo, Defense Dad just came in.
Let me see if I can bring X up, see if anything's being said out there. No, nothing being said out there in the chat. So if you're out there in chat on X. Say something so we know you're out there and we can acknowledge you. Because otherwise, we don't know who you are and whatnot. So, because it doesn't tell us who's watching. So, can't say hi to you if I don't know you're there. I mean, I can say hi, but I can't call you out by name or any such. So, anyway. So, what did you think of the Fraternal Order of Police's statement?
Interesting.
I mean, he didn't pull any punches.
No. Yeah, they typically don't.
Nope. That's what's going on with the Virginia deal. Oh, there was another thing too. The same guy, Jay Jones, at some point was arrested for doing 113 miles an hour on a state highway.
Jeez.
He took the case to court instead of paying the fine, and his sentence 500 hours of community service.
It's a felony in most states.
Mm-hmm. You would think 500 hours of community service. How do you think he did this community service? I know you know because I told you last night. But for those of you out there watching who don't know, may not be familiar with the incident, his community service was done, quote unquote, volunteering for his own political action committee. That is what the judge allowed him to use as public service. Not having to clean up the highway that he was speeding on, not having to clean up graffiti in downtown Richmond or somewhere. No, it was raising money for his own political campaign, in essence.
Hard labor, I tell you.
Mm-hmm. What in the hell is going on in urban Virginia at this point? I want to separate rural and suburban Virginia from urban Virginia because
Yeah.
they're two different places.
Don't blame the entire state. No.
No, it's not the entire state.
Never has been.
Oh, I live 45 minutes from the Virginia border. I know. We're sandwiched between Maryland and Virginia where I'm at. It's getting insane.
Well, just when you think it can't get worse, it gets worse. That's what's really scary.
Mm-hmm.
Every day it's like, hold my beer.
You got the mayor of Chicago declaring the city an ICE-free zone, as in immigration and customs enforcement free zone. Which I don't know if this guy's heard of the Supremacy Clause or the Insurrection Act, because he just violated both.
People criticize Trump for wanting to send in troops, but it's almost to the point where you got to do something. You got to restore order. You've
And
got to, you know, I don't know what else to say.
yeah, well, in people on the streets interviews in Portland and Chicago, and apparently the politicians there aren't listening to these people on the street interviews. Overwhelmingly, the citizens of both cities want Trump sending the troops in to clean up the cities.
Well, that's what I was saying earlier. These politicians don't live in the cities. They make all these decisions for people that aren't even their neighbors. So they don't feel any repercussions.
G Web says, number one, there is no disorder that needs federal intervention. Yes, there is, because you got a violent insurrection going on in Portland against the federal agency. So, yes, there absolutely is. You got the same thing starting in Chicago. So, yes, there absolutely is. And it's not federal intervention when the feds are going in to defend federal agencies. So, no, G-Webs, you are wrong. No, you are wrong, sir. Defending federal property is the job of the federal government. Just because you don't like the fact that they're sending the troops in doesn't mean that they don't have to. No, you shut up. In fact, I will shut you up if I have to. And I just did. I'm not in the mood to argue with somebody right now, so. Oh, so now he's saying, okay, let me take you out. We'll let you talk. If I can get it to come back up.
Now you did it.
I don't know if I can take him out. Timeout, can you? No, can't take him out of timeout. Whoops. I wish you could take somebody out of timeout. It sucks that you can't. You can only put them in.
Somebody told me once you can block them and then
Says he's
unblock
agreeing
them.
with me, but that didn't sound like he was agreeing with me. But anyway. Oh, I am tired. So if I made a mistake, I apologize. That's about the best I can do. Because it doesn't let you unmute somebody. It lets you unban somebody, but doesn't let you unmute them, which is silly. You'd think you'd be able to do both. But the first statement didn't sound like you were agreeing. There's Fluffy 10mm Jeep guy.
And Woods. Woods is out there.
Yep, Woods is out there. I don't know if G Webs is still out there, but again, I apologize if I jumped the gun. But it didn't sound like you were agreeing at first. If you were, I apologize. And I can't find G Web's email to send him the link. So if you want to send him a link and tell him that I apologize if he's not out there, see if he wants to jump in and he can weigh in as well if he wants. But,
okay.
And again, tell him I apologize. It seemed like that's what he was saying at first, and I just wasn't in the mood to argue with somebody.
Wow, that escalated quickly.
Yes, it did. How long you been hiding out in the chat?
I got here about the time, about 30 seconds before you went blah, 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 blah. So you are wrong, G-Webs. And I was like, oh, wow, Rich really got like instantly fired up there. He must not have taken his blood pressure medication today.
No, haven't had much sleep. 48 hours.
So then I listened to that whole exchange real quick. And then I was like, Rich,
so you didn't need to come in here to ruin his chat. He ruined his own chat.
Yeah.
I know. And I was like, wow, Rich just silenced his dissenters. How
I don't know. The fact that he told me to shut up is what like pissed me off. I was like, don't tell me to shut up on my show. I think is what.
But still, very lefty of you. I like it. You disagree with me?
That wasn't so much how you disagreed with me. It's the fact that he told me to shut up. I think is what set me off.
You canceled him.
Mm-hmm. Don't tell me to shut up. I'll shut you up. I don't even know how long it's set the timeout for.
1.8K seconds. Let's see.
1.8K
God,
seconds.
30 minutes?
Is it a 30 minutes?
You should put a link out there. Let him come in and defend himself.
I had Gary send him the link already.
I did.
Yeah.
I can't believe that you've gone full lefty like that.
I didn't put it for 30 minutes.
Obviously you did.
No, I did too. YouTube screwed up.
We didn't hide 3 million votes in black briefcases at 3 a.m. It was just 2. The voting machine screwed up.
YouTube has a history of screwing up.
And all of a sudden, Rich gets kicked off of YouTube.
Right. Yeah. Boom, done. Like, oh, wow. The YouTubes was listening.
Tigers are rallying in the bottom of the 9th. It is 8-4 Seattle. No outs.
Oh, snap. It's a big deficit to come back from, though.
It is.
So you weren't out there for the whole thing about what we were talking about?
No, well, apparently there's an insurrection happening, so there's that. That's all I've gotten, really.
Well, we started out talking about the Virginia candidate for Attorney General.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow we got to that point. But anyway, in text he sent to, did I mention the Democrat a candidate for attorney general? Because
I just assumed it.
Okay.
One, because
Anyway.
it's Virginia, and two, since it got us to this point.
Yeah, just to give you a quick rundown of what happened. It was that he sent a text messages to a Republican colleague when they were in the Virginia House of Delegates, stating that he wanted to put 2 bullets in the head of the Republican House Speaker of Virginia and watch his children die in his wife's lap.
What? Is his wife a hospice nurse for a NICU? Like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she is?
No.
I'm a good guesser. I say that was oddly specific that I did not think it was going to come to
I was agreeing with your later part of the story.
Oh, I was going to say, I need to go over to FanDuel and start doing some parlays.
And according to somebody who's worked with all these people in question, the candidate for attorney general knew the guy's wife and his kids.
Okay.
So, and guess how many Democrats have called for him to jump out of the race?
None.
Yep. I played even a clip where a reporter asks Tim Kaine, Democrat senator from Virginia, about it, and Tim Kaine basically just says, "I fully endorse him." And the reporter's reaction was priceless. You know, the letdown feeling when you tell your kid that they can't have a candy bar and they just get that look on their face?
Yep.
That's exactly what the look the reporter had on his face.
Well, clearly the reporter was a Trump supporter.
It was funny. It was just like watching a little kid be disappointed in the store.
We have a final now from Detroit. Seattle 8, Detroit 4. Seattle is now up 2-1.
Lame. Sorry, I'm pulling for Detroit in this one. I already told you guys I got local reason.
So you like Moo better than you do Foss, basically, is what you're telling me.
Has nothing to do with that. Good try. I'd say it is 100% just because the Erie Seawolves are the AA affiliate of the Detroit Tigers. However, after the Tigers probably lose this series, good chance I might root for the Mariners.
Going back a few minutes to something Gizzard Gary said, that we got the right eating the right now. Well, I think we just saw a little bit of that, but or was that just miscommunication?
Oh no, you went full left on him. No, it's a left eating the right. Good job.
Anyway,
at least you're able to admit that G. Webs was right and not wrong.
No, I never said he was right. I said if he was agreeing with me, I apologize.
You heard that, correct? Correct, Gary?
Yeah.
You said, okay.
So
if the court reporter will go back and check his statement, he said the right eating the right, which time I objected and said, no, you went full left eating the right. And he agreed again.
I did not agree to that part. Anyway, I do have a serious topic that we're going into from this.
But before you go into that, another sports update for you. Bottom of the 4th inning from Yankee Stadium. Blue Jays 6, Yankees 3.
They're only in the 4th.
Toronto already leads this series 2-0. So if the Blue Jays go on to win this, they will advance. What happened to the Yankees? Oh no.
Anyway, have either of you been following the situation with Candace Owens on X? And
On X, no.
I know you have other places.
Just what gets fed to me through shorts or reels, whatever the hell they call them on Facebooks.
It's blown up on X over the weekend.
Really?
Because you got people. She's now saying that she's released texts of Charlie Kirk saying this stuff that she's been saying, he's been saying. And when you look at the text, they look very much faked.
Okay.
There's no dates on any of them.
You don't normally have dates on texts unless you click on a text.
You'll get a date somewhere in there saying what a period, like on Android.
My Android phone, if I want to see a timestamp for a text message, I've got to click on the message itself to get a little timestamp to show up. And even then, I have to scroll up if it's days past to then get it to say like a time. So then all the subsequent messages after will just say, it won't actually show a date.
Yeah, let me turn my camera on so I can show people what I'm talking about. Because, like, on mine,
how old is your phone?
It's a newer one, but you can see where it says yesterday there, and then you go back and it'll tell you what yesterday. It doesn't have any of that on any of the texts that she's claiming were sent. None of them.
I can't see what you're showing, so
yeah, I know you can't, but it's like there it says Wednesday and the date. But
just checking out, Gary.
What's that?
I just asked if this is checking out.
Anyway, none of the text that she is showing has any of that kind of stuff.
I'm looking it up on another screen. I'm seeing some of it, yeah.
And the background colors keep changing on some of them. And she's not. And one person said that one of the phone numbers that shows up in one of them wasn't his phone number. So it's easy to fake a text. Now, we got a totally different situation, by the way, than what's going on in the Attorney General's race in Virginia, because he admitted that he sent those texts in the Virginia case. We have no way to have Charlie Kirk admit whether he sent those texts or not, because Charlie Kirk's not around anymore. But it's looking like those texts weren't legitimate. And if they are, it doesn't prove anything anyway, because it's not anything that we haven't already heard. But she's using these texts now to go after TPUSA, even though these texts were supposedly about Charlie Kirk and his support of Israel. And it's getting weird.
Am I still in here?
Yeah, you're still
here. No, you left.
Oh, okay. Let's say my phone was doing some weird shit.
You got followers of hers on X that are still stuck on when she was attempting to implicate Israel. I got into it with somebody on there about that somehow. I don't even know how I ended up getting into that discussion. But saying that nobody was accusing Israel. I mean, literally, the guy said nobody was accusing Israel. And that Israel came out and denied it for no reason.
Well, so I guess the hair that you could split on that is that it wasn't necessarily Israel being accused, but Netanyahu. But then if that's the hair they're going to split, then that would just mean that Netanyahu on his own would have, if you're going to go with a conspiracy, hired an assassin to do all this instead of using an Israeli, operative.
You can't even split that hair. If you go on,
No, I'm talking about the person that you would have been arguing with.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. They can't even split that hair because
Okay.
if you go on X, there's a guy on there, Jackson Hinkle, who is, I guess, he's an anti-Semite guy and everything, right? He accused Israel, not Netanyahu. He flat out said Israel did it. He was the first guy to accuse Israel. In fact,
Well, that's an anti-Semite. Like he's going to do that.
Yeah, but this is a guy that has 3.6 million followers on X. To say that nobody was accusing Israel at all, like what this other guy was doing, it's flat out wrong.
I'm going to say, because then you're having to take their words extremely literal and go, well, you're wrong because this person that you probably never heard of accused Israel. While he's talking about, Candace Owens and, people that are in the mainstream.
No, he flat out said you can't name a single person that was accusing Israel. It's like, oh, really? You want to bet I can't? And as I pointed out, that was just the first guy to do it. And there's a multitude of them afterwards, including Candace Owens. She's just one of a bunch of people that were doing it. Tucker Carlson did it.
Yeah.
I mean,
fucking Tucker.
Oh, he's been a disappointment.
What his dad told him. I'm joking. I had no idea what his dad told him.
I don't either.
His dad could have said, "Hey, Tucker, I'm very proud of you. Good job." Honestly, I'm a bigger fan of Tucker Carlson since he's been fired from Fox.
Oh, he's gone off the deep end lately.
Again, it's not like I'm a devout follower of him or anything. Just the short little clips that pop up, and it's like, oh, that was a really good take.
Yeah, but remember how much when Tucker used to speak out against Islam and everything? Now he's been defending it.
Oh, I haven't heard anything like that, but
yeah, he defended Sharia law.
Definitely didn't hear that one.
Yeah, that was like, hey, who did what? Moment, saying that Sharia law is not as bad as what people make it out to be.
Yeah.
Are we talking about the same Sharia law? The one that says people that leave Islam have to be killed. The Sharia law that says to throw homosexuals off of the roof of a building. The Sharia law that makes women wear tents as clothing. That's Sharia law? Pack Rat's 2A Musings is out there. I guess G's not going to come on, which I don't blame him. But I did not, if you're still out there listening, G-Webs, I did not mean to set that for 30 minutes.
You're going to have to send him a strongly worded email apologizing and explain in great detail how you're on your hands and knees groveling for his forgiveness. And that you're going to punish yourself by shooting 9mm.
I do that anyway.
There you go, folks. He's a masochist.
Pack Rat's 2A Musings is out there. He says Texas banned Sharia law. Yeah, but Texas has a Muslim problem. Whether they banning Sharia law ain't going to fix what they got going on there right now. You got communities being taken over, like up in Michigan at this point. You got in the Houston area, you had a mom going around telling stores they had to comply with Sharia and sell only stuff that was halal, which means basically approved in Islam.
They should hijack the song My Sharona and then change it to My Sharia.
Islam music is haram.
My Sharia.
Yeah, it's
It'd be
funny.
really catchy.
Yeah, but it's Sharia. Sharia doesn't allow music. It's haram. You know, there have been videos with imams breaking musical instruments like guitars and stuff on their YouTube channels and stuff because music's haram in Islam.
Nobody told Cat Stevens this, evidently.
No, apparently not.
Cat Williams likes music? By the way, what was the betting pool tonight for how long it took Rich to start talking about Muslims? Did anybody win?
I didn't get in on it. Damn it.
Damn it.
I don't even know if I brought it up.
You just did.
Was it me that brought it up? I don't remember. That's what I'm
Yes.
saying. Well, somebody said something that reminded me of something.
Do you remember putting Jew ups in timeout?
Yes, but not for the amount of time that YouTube did it for.
Uh-huh.
No, seriously, I hit for 2 minutes. It's YouTube math. Remember, YouTube can't do math. And like I said, it's not the first time YouTube screwed up on something. Like on Night Strike's channel, for example. He made me a moderator, and instead it banned me on his channel the one night. No joke. That actually happened. He had to go through his user list in the studio and unban me from his channel because he tried making me a moderator. YouTube can be weird at times, man. Pack Rat says that he does ride share, and Muslims are some of the most rude people he deals with. But, anyway, where was I?
So.
It was about. I know what got us on the. We were talking about Tucker. That's what got us to the Muslim thing.
Tucker's a Muslim?
No, but he's been defending them. Maybe he is. King Charles. I'm telling you what. More and more, it looks like King Charles may secretly be one. He's going into Muslim temple. What the hell do they call their church thingies? Damn it, I can't think of it now. Oh, their mosque. Yeah, that was their. He went into a mosque. He goes over there, and he's been giving speeches in mosques and stuff. Wearing full Islamic holy man garb and everything. It's crazy. But the West does have a Muslim problem, as in they're wanting to take over. What people don't realize, there's multiple stages of jihad. What you see in the Middle East with Hamas attacking Israel or Hezbollah attacking Israel, that's violent jihad, right? But there's also what they call soft or peace jihad. That's where they go in and they slowly just start taking over by population growth.
Killing them slowly with population. It doesn't fit. They should just go with My Sharona.
Mm-hmm. But if you look at Europe, the birth rates for England, for example, you're looking at a married couple having 1.5 kids, on average. The Muslims are having 4 to 5.
Okay. You know what that tells me? Other people need to have more sex like them.
Mm-hmm. But what happens when those numbers start to flip over? The population of the British is going to decrease while the population of the Muslims is going to increase.
Okay.
Which is going to allow the Muslims to take over without having to fire a shot. We already see it starting to happen in London.
So are you advocating for eugenics here?
No. I'm just making
a
point.
You're saying that...
Well, the reason why the Muslims are there is they keep importing them. All these refugees in there.
Yep.
They're importing what's killing their culture.
I think what's killing culture is this idea that we're supposed to not have people assimilate. That when they immigrate from anywhere, they just get to bring all their... And let me finish my sentences here, folks, before you jump down my throat. All their values, everything else, blah, blah, blah. Now, if they want to have those values and traditions and everything else indoors, that's fine. But when you go to another country, you're supposed to assimilate. There's a reason you're going there. So when you're out in public, you're part of that country. You're not an outsider. You're part of that.
Right, which is not what we're seeing in places like the UK, even Dearborn, Michigan.
But again, there's this wokeism thing going on where it's like, oh, we just have to be loving and accepting, and which it's great to want to be a great humanitarian, but your country is such for a reason. Now, the thing is also, things change. So just as easily we could say, well, like, this is the next change, and this is where we're going. Because if things didn't change, we wouldn't have had, for example, a civil rights movement. And I think that would be a great travesty. So,
yeah, but my point on that is everything you just said, they're taking advantage of to spread their control of the country. Specifically talking about England still. But we see it here in the United States too.
The funny thing is, England could squash it because they don't have a First Amendment. A little bit harder for us to do.
Yeah. If you look at Dearborn, Michigan, they've been taken over by the Muslims. The mayor, the entire city council, the chief of police, all Muslims. They're naming streets in Dearborn after terrorists now. No joke. This is not a joke. They just named a street after a Hezbollah terrorist. You had a Christian minister go to the city council meeting to object to it. The mayor basically told him to get out, that he doesn't belong in Dearborn because he's not a Muslim. Correct me if I'm wrong, that would be a violation of the First Amendment, would it not?
It would be.
I bet you Minnesota's. You go to Minneapolis area, you're going to be running into some of the same problems. In their case, it's the Somalis that have been put there. Take their, the refugees from Somalia. That's where they put them all. Is up in the Minneapolis area, which is a weird place to put them. If you think about it, you're coming from somewhere extremely hot, so we're going to put you somewhere that gets extremely cold. Somebody didn't think that one through. Or maybe Minnesota's the only ones that would take them. I don't know. But it just seems odd to put somebody from Somalia that's a refugee and put them in Minnesota, of all places. But anyway. Yeah, we definitely got to keep our eyes on that situation because that's dangerous. But Justin Grimm's out there. He said, "Did you guys see 250 blank missing Maine ballots found in an Amazon delivery?" Yes, I did see that. Did you guys see that one?
What?
No.
I believe it was a woman. I forget where she lives, but she opened up an Amazon package that was delivered to her house and it had 250 blank missing ballots from the state of Maine in it.
Why are they in an Amazon delivery?
That's what people want to know. I don't know if they've ever came up with an actual reason why those would even have been in the Amazon delivery. Packrat saying that they have a problem with the Muslim population in Tucson. And specifically, I'm talking about the ones that are being brought into the country. Because if you look at the Muslims in Michigan, that started with a Palestinian refugees that started that problem. What's going on in Minnesota now, and why we have Ilhan Omar in Congress, is Somalians. Texas and Tucson and Arizona, I don't know what where their populations come from, but it's bringing in these people that don't want to assimilate, like what Barbecue was saying, and they take advantage of it because they put them in places where it's all about tolerance and not making people have to assimilate and all this other nonsense. And they start taking over the area because of it. Because they don't want to assimilate. They want everybody to have to assimilate to their culture that they're bringing in instead of the other way around. Packrat said they're trying to take over the college in Tucson. Justin says that the FBI is investigating the 250 blank missing Maine ballots that were found in an Amazon package. But yeah, it's a strange dynamic that's going on. Anyway, you guys got anything you wanted to talk about?
I really wanted to talk about Muslims. That's why I came to this chat. Yep.
But it's Tucker's fault. We've been on an hour and 25 minutes.
Wow.
So when are you doing your giveaway?
I don't have one.
Oh.
Unless you want to donate the prize, because I don't have anything off the top of my head.
I thought you had
No.
knives.
No
I hit
giveaway, no
500.
bracket.
Should have definitely had a bracket.
Ooh. Shows we got 4 watching on X now.
Yeah, one of them's probably Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, he's probably pissed now.
Only if you're lucky. Might get to 500 subs then. You suck.
Oh, did you see the one where this guy was paroled and then he went and killed a little kid?
Nope.
Yeah, it was in Kentucky. A guy named Ronald Exantis was paroled because he was considered a nonviolent offender. He stabbed the kid to death and then went on to assault the entire family, and he was declared a non-violent offender because under the law in Kentucky, he was only convicted of a second-degree assault. You want to know why he was convicted of only a second-degree assault? The murder didn't count because he was found not guilty by reason of insanity for the murder.
Okay.
And so he did a couple years and was let out on parole. Now, I don't know if they changed the law in Pennsylvania, but when I was in high school and we were talking about this stuff in civics class, and my civics teacher was an attorney, Pennsylvania had a law that if you were found not guilty by reason of insanity, whatever sentence you would have been sentenced to for the crime that you had committed that you were found not guilty by reason of insanity for, you would be placed in a mental institution for that time period.
It would make sense.
Yeah, my question on that was, should every state implement that type of law? What do you think?
So you're wanting to make it a federal law or what?
I'll just have the states implement it themselves. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be federal, but you would think it would be a good idea for the states to have that kind of law on the record, especially if it's somebody doing something excessively violent, like stabbing a kid to death, right?
Oh, that was after.
Well, no,
the initial.
The initial crime was stabbing a kid to death, and then his family.
Okay.
He attacked the kid and the family, and then when he got out, he did something else.
Oh, I thought the something else that he did was that. So what's the something else that he did?
I'm trying to find it because, yeah, it's not saying. But the point of the article wasn't necessarily that the something else that he did. The fact that he was released early because the being found not guilty by reason of insanity not counting as to whether he was a violent offender or not.
Oh, part of it would matter if the facility that they sent him to had like a mental health wing, perhaps, where it's like, oh yeah, you're insane, but they kind of built that into their prison system. I don't know. Even if it's just one prison, because like I say, their prison system, but even if it's just one prison that they have in the state that does such a thing, then technically that would be built in. If it's just like, hey, you're crazy, and we're just gonna send you to prison for however long, have a good time, and not get any mental health support that you need, that does create a small problem.
Mm-hmm. Now, what about the Kentucky law where because he was found not guilty by reason of insanity, that makes him a nonviolent offender when it comes time for the parole on the other? Clearly, if he killed somebody, and it's known that he killed somebody, and he wasn't found innocent, he was found innocent because it said he was insane at the time of he committed a crime, he still committed a violent felony. Should he be considered a nonviolent felon or offender at that point? And how is the assault on the family, which is the part he was convicted on, not a violent offender, not make him a violent offender in and of itself? Because he was convicted of second-degree assault. That's a violent charge. How does he get not labeled as a violent offender under Kentucky law? It doesn't make sense. You get what I'm saying? Are you guys still here?
I am.
Oh, I was going to be quiet. Let him ask that a couple more times. And yeah, still here, just thinking on that. Because on the one hand, I'm like, well, if he was not in his sane mind at the time, I'm still curious as if there's.
Yeah, I would love to.
Because the thing that perplexes me is the conviction in the first place. Then,
right, that's one of the things I don't get either. How can he be found? Two crimes happen at the same time. One he's found not guilty by reason of insanity for, and the other one he's found guilty of second-degree assault. They happened at the same time.
it would seem that if you're going to sit there and say, well, you were not in a sane mind, which that's not a easy adjudication to get.
No, it's not.
So either they just happen to get the right psychologist to sign off on that stuff, or they had which more likely they had a psychologist that took their job very seriously, and it was like, oh no, this guy was temporarily insane. Which again, then I'm kind of curious about the conviction in the first place. Other than the fact that since it was a temporary insanity, that yes, he still committed a crime. Therefore, at the time of his insanity, he would not have been competent to stand trial. However, since it was temporary, he's still competent to stand trial. Then it's, well, because of this. But even then, it becomes an issue of, well, that's got a whole lot of fucking weird stuff going on there.
Yeah. And the Kentucky law being weird in and of itself, too. How is a second-degree assault not considered to be a non-violent conviction?
Well, I mean, you can get felony assault charge because you got into a fight and you ended up wrecking somebody's orbital bone.
Yeah, but that
now you're being
a violent offense is my point. How does he get listed as a non-violent offender if convicted of a second-degree assault?
But here's my point. You could have been acting in self-defense, but then
Not in
they're
this
charging
case.
you with. I don't care about just this case. I'm talking about in general, about just being charged with a felony assault because you cause great bodily harm or injury. That's why you're being charged now, even though it was self-defense. Like you didn't want to be in that situation, never meant to be in that situation. Like there are ways.
Right. The prosecutor can figure out a way to charge you with anything at any time. We know that.
But not knowing all the details behind this case, not having obviously sat on the jury or anything, like I think this is one that's just going to have a lot more questions than answers.
Yeah, I just don't get how, if both crimes happened at the same time, you could be found not guilty by reason of insanity for one half of it, but the other half you're still criminally convicted. Wouldn't both halves of that crime have to be under the same thing?
That's what I was kind of thinking. That's why I was so perplexed with it.
Mm-hmm. And given that the assault took place at the same time as a homicide, that rolls out your devil's advocate part about the self-defense thing. So I still don't get how that assault, while happening at the same time the guy had committed a murder, wouldn't be a violent offense.
Like I said, without knowing.
Yeah, that's why I said this would have been an interesting trial to sit in on and watch how this all played out, because it's all kinds of weird. You know, Pack Rat out there says if you're found guilty but criminally insane, then you locked up for the rest of your life. Depends on the crime. If it's a homicide, particularly something that could be determined to be first or second degree, if not for the not guilty by reason of insanity, 25 to life wouldn't be out of the question, because that's typically the sentence for either one of those that a person convicted of those crimes would face. Unless the state has a death penalty. But then if it's a capital offense and you're charged as such, where you could face the death penalty, life in a mental institution, I would be hard pressed to argue against that. What do you think? Either one of you, speak up.
I'm going to have to argue against, because place them in a mental institution, but the thing is, then they're being monitored by professionals. And having a yearly review, biannual, maybe every 5 years, whatever, of their mental state. Honestly, I think even every 5 years, because if you can get them to a state where, oh, hey, you would be a functioning adult in society now, you're, we got you sorted out, you're good to go. It'd be pretty hard to keep them there.
Yeah, well, remember, if you got 25 to life, you're still eligible for parole after a certain time. Doesn't mean you're going to be there the whole 25 years.
But to say, because
no, I'm adding your point in. I'm combining your point with what I just said.
I know, but what I'm going to say is, by using the 25 to life thing and parole, then the argument a lot of people would make is, well, they wouldn't be eligible for getting out until at least 25 years.
Except that's
Anyway,
not true, because you're eligible for parole at least halfway through your sentence.
well, that's what I was going to
Charles
say.
Manson came up for parole how many times and was denied every time?
That's what I was going to say, is it would be half of the minimum number, but still, after you explain that to people, then they'd be like, well, you shouldn't be eligible for parole for at least 12 and a half years. But my argument is,
but this isn't the commutation to a mental institution isn't a prison sentence. It's different. The law would work different.
Correct. And
concerning that.
And that's why I'm advocating against a lifetime commitment. Like, it's not off the table, because again, you're being monitored by medical professionals, the whole thing, that are assessing your mental state. And it's not just like, oh, well, he had a good month, so he's mentally fit. Like, there should have to be a period of time that they say, okay, yeah, no, he's been functioning really well here, no setbacks, et cetera, the whole 9 yards. And even then, I think, like, let's say it's medication controlled. What happens if we take them off their medication for a couple weeks or a month, or something like that? Do they set back to, like, they're completely capable of going out and committing another murder or something? Like, there's a lot there. But again, short answer is no. A blanket lifetime commitment to a mental institution because you killed somebody and were deemed mentally insane, it's something that's fixable. So no. Because here's the thing, if that's the case, then anytime you kill somebody, you should just be given life. Oops, you're a drunk driver, accidentally killed somebody, tough shit, here's life.
Mm-hmm. Well, Pack Rat out there is saying, he said, okay, guys, just to let you know, I work 30 years in emergency medicine, did both fire, EMS, and law enforcement. Plus, he also works part-time in a mental health institute and has a criminal justice degree here in Arizona. So a lot of these laws he's somewhat familiar with. Okay, I guess me and Barbecue need to put our backgrounds out there. Barbecue is a former corrections officer for the state of Pennsylvania.
No, just county level. I never went state.
Okay, he's a former corrections officer with this county where he lives. He also has a degree in criminal justice. Am I correct?
No, I don't.
You don't?
Okay. I make fun of criminal justice degrees. Criminal justice degree is the liberal arts degree for the right.
It depends on what level.
You're welcome, Rich. I know what you're about to say. You're welcome.
Yes. You're talking associates, and I would agree with you. That degree was extremely easy. The bachelor's and beyond is much harder.
The reason I say that, because it's virtually useless. I mean, like, okay, yeah, it gives you a step up over other people that are trying to join law enforcement agencies, whether it be corrections or parole or state police or anything where they give credence to that degree. But overall, I mean, the amount of people that I saw come into corrections, because it's almost like this fairy tale is crafted about the justice system, and then they get to work in a prison. They're like, "Oh, this is not." It's like a shock to their system, and they disappear every time. And that's why I say it's kind of like the liberal arts degree for the right, because I know a lot of people that have criminal justice degrees don't do shit. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that's all of them. Obviously, some people find them very useful, just overall. So it's a fun way to describe it, get people stirred up.
Yeah.
But please, go ahead. Go with your credentials. Rich.
No, all I was going to say is, again, it depends on what level you went with. If you only got your associates, and yeah, you're You got toilet paper. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is.
I am just a high school graduate that self-educates, I guess you could say.
Whereas in my case, I do have both my associates and bachelor's in criminal justice, but I also started my master's, never finished it.
He almost has a doctorate.
I do not almost have my doctorate. Good Lord. I ain't nowhere near that level yet. If I even go and finish the master's, for crying out loud. But yeah. And I also have a specialty in that where it comes to anti-terrorism.
So what was their point again with their credentials? What were they saying?
Showing, that
we kind of got off topic there. Sorry.
That he understood because he has those credentials. I was just like, yeah, okay. So,
well, but what's understood?
Oh, that he basically it's all that he's saying what he's saying because he's got experience working with these people. Basically.
Oh, I got you.
He says no, he agrees. It just gives you a good basic, but it does also help you understand it when the time comes to start really learning the stuff.
Rich is going to defend it the hardest because he's almost got a doctorate in it.
I do not almost have a doctorate in it.
You're closer to the doctorate than you are the associates.
This is true. Okay, I'll give you that.
Plus, it's just really fun to give you shit and say about that. But yeah, I obviously not all mental health conditions. In theory, they're all fixable, but not everybody can be fixed, unfortunately.
No. Yeah, it depends on if they take their medicine, don't take their meds, and whatnot.
And so here's another point that like the 25. Let's say it's hey, if you were convicted of this in a mentally sane capacity, you were going to get 25 to 50.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's say, or no, let's make it a lesser charge, not like first degree crap. But let's say it was like 10 to 20, and you put them in a mental health facility, and they're still like they still really are not in a sane, capable mind. Then you would allow, after 20 years, somebody who could go and reoffend because their mental state is very terrible. So again, that I think that's something where you would have to leave it to the medical professionals for the amount of time and everything else.
Yeah, I was going to say
some people would definitely end up. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say in a 10 to 20, like what you're proposing. Yeah, I think you would have to leave, whether they absolutely can leave after 20 years, in the hands of the doctors that are overseeing them. The court can mandate that they have that, but the law would have it where if the doctors don't feel the person could be released yet, just like with any case of somebody being committed to the institution, that it has to be in the doctor's hands at some point. I would fully agree with you on that point.
I think it would always need to be in the doctor's hands. If they're being committed to a mental institution, boom, automatically doctor's hands.
No, he's saying he's not trying to say he's smarter than anybody. Oh, we're not either.
No.
We're just so.
Oh no, Rich is 100% saying that. Don't
That's
let
not
him
what I said.
Gary, that's what you heard, right? I almost have a doctorate.
Yeah, I think I
no,
did.
you're the one that keeps saying I almost have a doctorate, not me. And he said, no, he does. He agrees with you how does someone get out so early and easy when they are violent and not charged with violent crimes when it's clearly a violent crime?
Yeah,
Well, it's
you
not
should
that he
put
wasn't charged with a violent crime. It's that under Kentucky law, it wasn't a violent offense somehow.
hold on. Put a link out there so he can jump in.
Might as well. Let's see, do I still have that? Yes. Yeah, if you want to jump in, Vulcan, there's the, or not Vulcan, Pack Rat, sorry. There's the link and we can discuss it. It's easier to discuss if you're actually on the panel than back and forth between chat and everything.
That
Because they got what, 250 characters like on
something like
X?
that. And I don't know if Packrat's ever been on a live chat or anything, but all you need is a smartphone. Literally, that's all of us are using.
Yeah, and if you're using a phone, you'll have to download the Rumble Studio app.
Oh yeah, that's
which
true.
is free. Which is free. It's a free app.
It's free, but Rich doesn't like to use platforms that are freedom loving. Don't make you commit to something like a app.
Rumble doesn't discriminate against gun channels. Just saying.
When does StreamYard do that?
I'm talking about YouTube. the Rumble itself, the whole organization.
What about the gun dungeon?
Huh?
The dungeon that Night Strike created.
Oh, does that even exist anymore?
No.
I didn't think so.
Did Packrat say if he's going to jump in?
Yeah, no, he hasn't.
What happened to Gunstreamer?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Are they still around? I couldn't tell you.
Don't hear anything about them.
I haven't looked in a while, so I don't know if they're there still or not. I can find out.
How about Full 30?
I don't know if they are either. I haven't heard crap about them. According to
cat fight.
Yeah, according
Rich,
to
cat.
It's two cats fighting, dude. According to Gunstreamer, they closed in June of 2020, but I could have swore they were operating still after that. Oh, says that they clicked on the link for gunstreamer.com and they know that the site can't be reached.
Wow.
So I guess they are gone. But I could have swore they were active after 2020. Travis P11 back in 2020 has a video saying that they were still alive and well as of July 1st of 2020. So I don't.
You do know that was over 5 years ago, right?
I know. I'm still getting, but the crazy part is it's still putting up links and they don't work. Google has links for Gunstreamer and they don't work. See, is their Instagram still there? Their Instagram's still up.
Just to clarify, guntube.org does technically still exist.
Wow.
It is out there.
I wish Instagram put an actual date on things. I don't know. They got a post on their Instagram saying they're still alive and well, but it doesn't say where or when that was posted. Their X page is still operational. They haven't posted since July 1st, where they said they're alive and well. That was 2020, July 1st of 2020. So yeah, apparently they're gone. But their Instagram is still active. They still have an Instagram page and an X channel. They haven't done shit with it, either one of those. So yeah, they're apparently dead. So there you go. Gunstreamer no longer exists. What was the other one? Full 30?
Mm-hmm.
No, Full 30's still up. He wants me to log in, but I don't want to log in. I don't remember what my login is. So
I thought your login was my Sharia.
By Sharia.
hell, they haven't posted anything on X since 2015. Hell, it was still Twitter back then.
Ooh. It was so fun to use the twatters back then.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Have they done anything on their Instagram page? Not since 2022 on Instagram. So it's been a while since they've done anything on social media. So I don't know if they're still actively active or not. Just because their website's still there doesn't mean they're doing anything with it. Okay, the first video that pops up when I finally actually was able to get into their site is from November of 2018. That's great. Let's see. Watch videos. Huh? I hit the watch video button on Full 30 and it takes me to some Spanish website. What the fuck? Like, okay.
Is that like where you find single Latinas or something
I have
that are in
no
the
idea.
30s?
I will
Interesting.
screen share the page that it takes you to when
I
you
don't know
click
if you want
on
to do
the
that,
watch
Rich.
video.
If your wife sees this,
There's nothing right there on the page that is suspect, shall we say? This is the
all
page
right,
it takes you to
it's your
when you.
life.
This is the page it takes you to when you click on the watch videos on Full 30.
Amy, Rich is looking for your replacement.
It looks like it's saying no contract, something along those lines in Spanish. So it takes you to a Spanish page that tells you that they don't have that URL anymore, maybe.
Maybe they were using a Spanish company
Yeah, maybe.
for the servers or something. And the
Possibility. But they still have some videos up on the channel because this is the. Let me share the when I clicked on a link that went to a person's channel. This is what came up. So they still got some videos on there. So I don't know.
Huh.
But this is Hickok's channel.
Ew.
Over there. It was one.
You
It was
were.
the only link. No, it was the link that Google spit out. So I clicked on it to see if that would still work. Last time he put anything, I guess this one's from like 2018. The FN 509 tactical and factory tactical handguns. So I don't know. But it's odd when you click that button right there where it says watch videos. That's what took me to that Spanish website. So I don't know. Full 30 may not be in full operation anymore.
Does not sound that way.
Did you click the link? You just click the link and it's saying, asking you to start a stream by clicking that link?
What?
What?
That's what he said. He said he's trying. It's not letting him. It wants him to start a stream, not join one.
Did he download the app? If he downloaded the app, should just be able to click on it after that. It should just have a green button down at the bottom of the page if he's on a cell phone. It'll ask him to add an avatar and enter a name. And then you click the green button. It's like, voila.
Yeah, I can't walk you through the wireless. So listen to what Barbecue's saying. He uses it. I don't use the mobile app.
Ooh, should probably delete this photo. That chick looks pissed.
Yeah. He might be the only one out there on the YouTube side saying
Next time, don't take pictures in the shower. You won't get that reaction.
He said, "You hear that Hickok broke his leg?" Nope, did not hear that.
How?
I don't know. He didn't say. I don't know.
I'm gonna keep it. What? If Packrat, if you're still listening, try using Google Chrome when you do it.
Now we're back up to 3 on YouTube.
So
Now back down to 1.
I'm reading
I think your counter's wrong.
on X right now. It says Turning Point USA verified the authenticity of private text messages from Charlie Kirk leaked by Candace Owens, which expressed his frustrations with pro-Israel donors pressuring him to disinvite speakers like Tucker Carlson. So,
Which again,
Turning
even if,
Point
like I
USA
said,
is confirming those.
yeah, like I said, even if those texts were real, it's all stuff that was already known anyway. That Turning Point USA had already.
I'm just saying the texts weren't faked.
Yeah, but I don't get what her point is in releasing them when it's already stuff that Charlie Kirk had already said himself in videos and stuff.
Well, why would anybody think the messages were fake if this stuff was already stuff that was said and known?
You'd have to ask the people saying they're fake. That's why the purpose of my bringing her up was when Gary, like what Gary said about you had the right eating the right. That's an example of it. You got the right arguing with the right over something that's meaningless because we already know all that because of things that Charlie Kirk had said in videos and in public before he was shot were basically the same thing that was in those texts. So her bringing those texts out, what's the point?
You mean like when you ate G-Webs earlier? Never forget.
Mm-hmm. He said he's on his phone.
Yeah, and say all I did was click the link. And say hopefully it's the same link. I don't know. Hold on.
I put the link out there from the studio. From in here where we're at.
It's the same link that I got in my email. So
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as you download the app, you don't open the app, just click the link there.
Yeah. Yeah, for some reason it requires the app to be downloaded even though a link's been put out. It's dumb. I don't understand why.
Yeah, it's the same link. The one you just put out there, it's the same link. Yeah, once you got the studio app downloaded, you can just ignore it. Just keep it on your phone in case you want to join again, and just click that. Just click the link that was put out there. Don't
See
you
that?
don't have
Richard in the pocket of big whatever the hell this is, Rumble.
hmm Like somebody that accused me of being in the pocket of Big Israel. I wish I could use the money.
Right?
That's another thing. Apparently, if I told Gary this last night, I think if you post anything that's even remotely complimentary of Israel in any way, shape, or form, now apparently there's a conspiracy that you're getting paid $7,000 by Israel every time you post one.
Oh man.
Israel owes me a shit ton of money then, if that's the case. That's all I got to say. I haven't seen shit. It says just goes to the store. You downloaded and installed the studio app.
If you'd use a real platform to stream on.
Well, if Israel would pay me what they owe me for posting good posts about them, I could afford to.
You wouldn't.
Yes, I would. I can't. I can't. I don't have the money to pay StreamYard what they want. When they doubled it, it was like, dude, I can't afford to pay that a month. He said, yes, he did get the studio app.
Huh.
Because there's two Rumble apps. You have Rumble itself, then the Rumble Studio.
Does he have to create an account?
I don't think so. Did you have to create an account?
I don't remember. It's been a while.
Make sure you got the studio and not just the Rumble app. Well, no, because he said if it was wanting him to create a stream, then he would have to have the studio app at that point, right?
I don't know. I don't use this
I
thing.
don't. Well, Rumble wouldn't make him. The Rumble app itself would just play videos. It would be a video player. It wouldn't be the studio part. Yeah, I don't. Like I said, I don't have this on my phone, so I don't know how that works. Okay, he says he got the studio. Okay. Yeah, you should just be able to click on that link and it should just bring you right in here. It's the first time I've seen anybody's had that issue. So, yeah. Yeah, I do have the Rumble Studio on my phone. Just had to update it. I don't remember ever downloading it. I don't. Apparently, I did at some point. Let me go over to YouTube. I guess I could have just went to. Yes, okay. Go away. Go away. Yes, I want to sign in. Damn it. God. What? I can't select the number shown on my TV. My TV's not on. Stupid thing.
Ah!
Who are you arguing with, Rich?
The YouTube app.
YouTube or Rumble?
Stupid. No, YouTube. It's YouTube. It's being stupid in this case. It was wanting me to do something I absolutely did not have to do. All right, let me see. Yeah, I'm getting the same thing he said. I click on the link, and it's telling me to download the app again, which I already have.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you to do on that one.
Is it because you have an Android phone?
I don't know. Does he have an Android phone? I don't know.
Do you?
I have an Android phone.
I do, but Barbecue has one, and he got in no problem.
Is it because you have a criminal justice degree?
Well,
Hey, that is almost a doctorate. You do not make fun of doctors.
yeah, what's wrong with you? Why is it? Oh, it's want me to log into Rumble. Okay, that's great. Good. So I can I can join my stream a second time from my phone. No, I don't want to do that. Yeah, I don't know. What the hell? Yeah, it just keeps going back to saying to download the Rumble.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm having the same.
I'll be honest with the Pack Rat. Rich gave you the wrong link on purpose, and he had Gary and I put it out there also. There's a secret chat back here where he's like, I don't want that guy in here.
Uh-huh. Don't listen to the blind guy.
Well, Pack Rat says could be the head injury. How'd you know Rich had a head injury?
I didn't know Rich got
happened
head.
when he fell at Walmart last year. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not letting me join from that link either. Now he doesn't feel stupid. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, when the doctor can't figure it out, you know there's an issue.
Mm-hmm.
Just let it be said that I let anybody and everybody onto my show, unlike Rich White.
Same here.
Uh-huh.
I do. Every show I put out a
Yeah, I know
link.
you do.
Hell.
It's because we're an inclusive community, Rich.
Uh-huh.
I even so much so as dare people to come in and roast me, and they still won't do it. And I've offered to be completely mum the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, nobody answered my question last night. Did High Point really design their guns to be California compliant, or is it just, their whatever rounds, 10 rounds or whatever fuck they hold, because they made it fucking single stack?
No idea.
Because that's the first time I ever heard that. And contrary to popular belief, I wasn't asking the question because, I was trying to argue. I was asking because I had never heard that, and I was under the impression that it was just because they were single stack.
Yeah, I have no idea. That caught me last night because that's the first time I heard somebody say that. So I don't know. Ooh, he said he got hit in the face by a board, hit 16 stitches and a frontal skull fracture.
Ouch.
Ooh, nice.
Mm.
He definitely deserves to be on the panel. Like
Mhm.
with your Walmart, no, I'm gonna call it a flop. Your Walmart flop, my 3 brain surgeries, Gary and his Tuma, like yeah,
Hell,
Packer should definitely be in here.
I've taken multiple blows to the head over the course of my life. Remember the hockey puck injury?
Yeah, but
We
that's
don't know.
Wii hockey. That doesn't count.
No, that was real hockey.
No.
That was a frozen hockey puck to the face.
I thought goalies were supposed to wear a mask.
It's kind of hard to do that when you're taking a drink and somebody decides he wants to be an asshole. Gets himself thrown off the team for it, too.
Sounds like you should have kicked somebody's ass.
It's kind of hard to do when you're laying on the ice trying to figure out what the fuck just happened.
You always get him back later. It's not
I never
too
saw
late.
him after that. He
Go
was
find
thrown
him.
off the team.
Go find him, Rich. Go even a score.
Get your receipt.
That's right. Only then will you be free.
Mm-hmm.
Free yourself, Rich.
My Sharia.
I'm not running for Attorney General in Virginia.
Anybody else confused by that?
You can't do that with a bachelor's degree?
No.
No.
No, just a doctorate.
Packrat says, and by the grace of God, the other guy lived because he wasn't carrying at the time. Yeah. Now that hockey puck hit me in the face, and my eyes turned. It was like Niagara Falls at that point. And when it fell down to under my hands and knees, but and blood just pouring out of my face onto the ice. I mean, all I saw was blurry blood on the ice. Trying to figure out where the hell I was at that point.
They kicked him off the team because he wasn't successful in killing you. They're like, you fucking failed. I had to find somebody else to do this job. And then they never did. We're glad for it, Rich.
Mm-hmm.
It's really a shame that sent you down to the Wii Hockey Leagues after that, though. I mean, damn. Then that terrible Wii Hockey elbow injury. You can catch a break. It's like Gordon Bombay.
Yeah, Packrat said that's a real shit show. He doesn't remember being hit. Yeah, it's like I remember dude calling my name. I turn to look at him. I don't have my helmet on because we were in a break. I was taking a drink out of a water bottle. He calls my name. I turn my head. Wham! Puck to the face. It was like, and next thing I knew, I'm on the ice looking at a red smear blobby thing in front of me, not comprehending exactly what it is until the pain set in. And I was like, oh God, that hurts.
Hold on. They started playing Wham right before they hit you in the face with the hockey puck? Those bastards.
No. Wham was the hockey puck hitting me in the face.
No, that is the name of a band.
God, maybe that's why I can't stand George Michael. Maybe that was playing. I don't know. I don't remember. I remember very little after the puck hit me in the face. So, and he said the guy that hit him with the board got 2.5 years.
But one thing about it, Rich is never going to cheat again. That's right.
I know, he was just on that site for Latino women over 30.
Mm-hmm.
$2.5 years, but was he considered a violent offender? 2.5 years smacking somebody in the face with a board. You could almost make a case for attempted homicide at that point. You said it happened on Easter. That's great. Did you make?
He's trying to nail you to the board. That is what's going on.
Well, he said he is now. Well, what did they get him on? That he only got 2.5 years. Like I said, you could make a case for attempted homicide on that one, especially with the skull fracture and everything. Crazy what some sentences people get for things, especially on plea bargains. Assault, he said.
Sounds more like battery.
Mm-hmm. Varies by state what they call the charges. And whether he plea bargained it or not. Get arrested, assault and battery, attempted homicide, plead it down to felony homicide, get 2.5 years.
I mean, typically assault doesn't necessarily mean physical contact.
Yes,
battery
I
does.
I know that.
Yes, I know because you have a master's degree in criminal justice. Or a doctorate, excuse me.
Only according to barbecue. Wait, barbecue.
Almost doctorate.
You don't have a college that you own, do you? That you give out honorary degrees? He pled to
Why, you're
simple
looking for a
assault
second doctorate?
for a first. He said he pled to simple assault. That's what I figured. When you said 2.5 years, a plea deal.
That's impressive that they pled it down to a simple assault.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, again, the circumstances behind the whole case, everything else matter, but assault with a 2x4 causing cranial fracture, that's
a crazy one to plead down to simple assault. Even if it's felony simple assault, that's still.
I'd go after him in civil court for damages.
Yeah. But then a lot of times it's not worth it because the person doesn't have shit. So then you're suing them. Yeah, they owe you all this money, but good luck collecting.
I mean, there is wage garnishment and shit like that, but
You could hire some ambulance chaser lawyer. I mean, they're going to take 90% of the judgment, but
depending on whether your state reverses the court cost or not onto the loser's a factor too.
Rizzo.
And since he didn't have his badge anymore, they couldn't go for assault on a Leo. Yeah. Is that all we got tonight? I think probably going to wrap this up because I know people are going to have to get to work tomorrow.
So is it time for your bracket now or what?
I don't have a bracket.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Jeez.
How about Gorn?
If somebody wants to send in Gorn, the email address is in the crawler there.
So. Bracket. Is this how this was ending?
I don't know.
Well, if it is, I would just like to remind folks that G Webs was right, so Rich went left and silenced him.
He said the prosecutor wanted to what? Charge him with assault on a Leo?
So why didn't they?
Yeah, why'd they plea bargain it down then to simple assault?
Because I know
he wasn't a Leo anymore. Why?
Well, it depends on the circumstances, though. If it's like this guy knew at one time he was, like...
Yeah, if it was a revenge thing.
If I have any inmates decide to roll up on me to this day because they're like, oh, there's Officer Berger.
Yeah, that's...
I'm not a corrections officer anymore, obviously, but...
Yeah. It stems from when you were, so it's a revenge thing. So
exactly. Yeah. I actually had to tell one guy running his mouth inside, this was... I'm trying to think if I was no longer working corrections then or not. No, I wasn't. This was a couple of years after I had quit and started driving truck.
I wonder if that's a state-by-state law, though.
No, I'm pretty sure that's federal. But I was at Chinese buffet with my family, and like I knew the guy was there, and other than the fact that he was a piece of crap, and like I had known him before I had become a corrections officer, because a lot of people that I knew ended up in county, or at least knew of, I should say. It's not like I was hanging out with a bunch of people that were criminals or anything. Just I knew a lot of people that happened to know me. So, anyways, this guy at the Chinese restaurant ends up at the buffet at the same time as me. I don't think it was a coincidence. I mean, up at the thing to get food, not, the showing up at the same place was coincidence. But when I had gone up to grab a plate and he had already been sitting down when we walked in eating, I found it rather coincidental that all of a sudden he popped up. But the whole time he's running his mouth, and I was like, dude, do you really want to fucking do this here? I was like, because if you do this, I was like, you're not just going back to county. I was like, you're going to go to a fucking federal pound you in the ass prison.
Yeah, he says they have a very liberal prosecutor. So it sounds like the prosecutor wanted to go after the guy on assaulting a Leo, but when he couldn't, he didn't want to be bothered anymore and let the guy go on the plea bargain. If that's the case, which is wrong, but it's not unheard of for a prosecutor to just be like, I want to make this case go away.
There was one other instance that I had. This one, I thought for sure I was going hands. I was over in Ohio, just outside of Akron. And which last place I expect to have anything related to my corrections career come back to have to worry about. And I'm delivering drywall like I normally would. And there was a body shop across the way that apparently would go over to the truck driver and say, hey, are you keeping that plastic? Because the drywall would get covered with plastic, then it would get covered with our tarps to keep it dry. So the body shop being right next to that place, they figured out like, oh, all these truck drivers have plastic. So they didn't have to buy plastic to do their work. They would just go over and be like, hey, if you don't want that, we'll take it. Which was always great for us because some places wouldn't let you throw out the plastic, which I'm like, fuck you, I'm throwing out the plastic here. You ordered the drywall. If you don't want the plastic, tell them not to put it on. Like, I'm not taking it with me. So anyways, so the owner, whoever, I don't know, had come over like, hey, can we take the plastic? I was like, abso-freaking-lutely, thank you. So about 5-10 minutes later, I'm still waiting to get unloaded. But I see this guy coming across the parking lot, and he is coming hard and fast. And like I could tell, whatever reason he was coming at me, like we were gonna fight. And he got, I don't know, probably within 5 yards of me, and maybe 10, before his coworkers had caught up to him. They all grabbed him, under the arms and restrained him. And I was like, dude, what the fuck is your problem? And he said, I got 3 extra months and missed my daughter's 5th birthday because of you, which right then I knew exactly who it was. And the reason he got 3 extra months and missed his daughter's 5th birthday was because he was cheeking his meds 2 weeks before he was supposed to get out, which, like, I'd tell all the guys, like, I get it. We have a game to play. You want to be a criminal and play those games? Cool. My job's to catch you, and, if I catch you, you're getting written up. Like, no hard feelings about it. But apparently he was still really sore all those years later that he missed his daughter's 5th birthday, which I was like, dude, you're a fucking grown-ass man. But I thought for sure, if his coworkers didn't grab him, that one would have been interesting to see what the fuck was about to happen. And like I said, Akron, Ohio, that's a solid 3.5 hours from me, I think. Something like that. Last place I expected to have a run-in with anybody.
Yeah, he says the assistant wanted to, the boss didn't. Yep, you'll get that a lot, county prosecutor.
Oh, assistant DA, okay.
Yeah, the boss
that
man.
Makes sense now.
Yeah, will say, nope, make it go away, take the deal. Yep. That happens, unfortunately. Won't be the first time, and it damn sure won't be the last. So, on that note, I guess we can start wrapping this up. Gary, anything you want to plug or say before we get out of here?
No. If any of my channel members are out there, channel members stream tomorrow, 8:30 p.m. Otherwise, I'm live every Monday, 9 o'clock p.m. It's called Foul Territory. Love to have you there, 9 p.m. Central. And thanks for having me, and give them the bird and all that stuff.
All right. Thanks for jumping on. Barbecue?
Thursday night, I plan on doing a chat. Might have an interesting topic. Might talk about losing my index. If you don't know what that means, tune in, you'll find out. We'll have a bracket, I'm sure, because those are fun. And while you're at it, go check out Kingpin's channel because he's a great dude. Go check out Squiblo's channel because it is for everybody. Also remember, he loves cash, loves foreign cars, and is vegan. So there's that. That's all I got.
Alrighty. Well, I want to thank everybody who showed up to watch tonight and participated, especially Pack Rat, who was basically kept the chat going for the last half hour. Amazing how often that'll happen. Somebody will just start saying something out in the chat, and it just leads to a topic being presented. That's how Kingpin got started. Barbecue brought up Kingpin. That's how Kingpin got his start. He just was asking questions and was like, "Dude, how about you jump on and you can ask us, and it'd be a lot easier to answer." So yeah. Anyway, on that note, we will bid you a good night, and we will catch you tomorrow night on Gizzard's members chat if you're a member. If not, why not? Get over there on the Gizzard's channel on the YouTubes and get yourself a membership so that you maybe can win a knife tomorrow night. You are giving away a knife, correct?
That's correct. 99 cents a month.
Yeah, all it takes is $1 a month. Come on, folks.
Well, I have 500 subs.
Anyway, $1 a month to Gizzard, and you get a chance every week to win a knife. And a nice knife,
because he has 500 subs.
Yes. That is a given.
Unlike Rich.
Yes.
If I could, I'd give you 100 of mine, but it don't work that way.
I'm up to 430 something now. But
well, it's only going to take another 9 years.
If it was X, I'd have surpassed this by now. You got a lot of
I'm already 65, man. I can't wait that many years.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Anyway, we will catch y'all later.
Shut up, being infringed!
Get in the bird.
God, you had to do that because we mentioned Nice Strike earlier, didn't you?
You're welcome.
Are you still alive?
Yeah, we're still live.
Why?
Turn this off already.